Hi everyone, it's Tim again, and we're going to talk about potassium bromide today. Before I get into talking about bromide in general and the way I have in all of the other videos, I want to talk about one aspect of the bromides that really needs to be discussed, because we have like the Lyme community that's saying that these cherry angiomas, and it's probably better to show you the other photo first, seeing these very bright red almost moles that can be flat or they can be raised. These are cherry angiomas. These are the sign of a potassium bromide deficiency. Lots of people in other aspects of natural health and living trying to claim that it's related to a different disease or illness. It's not. It's a bromide deficiency. If your disease or illness provokes a bromide deficiency, or extra assimilation of iodine that would suppress your bromides, then yes, it's possible that these can have a link or correlation to it. But the actual cause of a bromide deficiency is either not having it in your diet, not being a part of your nutrition, or excessive iodine. Iodine and bromides are the same as zincs and coppers. Too much of one will block the other, but they both need to be in balance in both cases in which I just spoke about, being zinc and copper and bromides and iodine. Within our natural health and living community, they talk about bromides, they talk about brominated baking flour and bromides in bread and baked goods, and how anybody with a thyroid condition must stay away from it. They don't know what they're talking about. If that's all they state and they don't qualify that and help you understand that your thyroid needs bromides in order to function, but too little bromides will actually cause hyperthyroidism. If you have too much iodine, you will provoke hyperthyroidism. If you have too little iodine, you will have excessive bromides and will be prone to hypothyroidism. But anyway, I just wanted everybody to understand that bromides will not destroy your thyroid. Bromides are a required nutrient of your thyroid, and there's an awful lot of misinformation about bromides that floats around within our community. That's just the biggest one that I wanted to talk about. So I've already identified that the cherry angiomas here are indeed, so these are they are red. They will always be red. They look like a red mole, or they can be even sometimes like a bit of a red and raised skin tag, or might appear as a wart to some people. These are cherry angiomas. No, I'm not talking about the vitiligo that's going on here. Not even getting into that today. We're just going to talk about these red cherry angiomas. The red cherry angiomas, and we're going to move over here to the next one. We're seeing one here, and we're seeing some redness there. There's a cherry angioma that's not as bright. It's not as easy to see in this individual as it is in the other, but they are there. So cherry angiomas, we'll go here, and I'm just going to leave this picture up because it's the easiest to identify the cherry angiomas, because there's a few of them around, and the loss of pigmentation here is helping to exaggerate it. So because it's being exaggerated, it helps you see it a little better. So what in the human body uses potassium bromide? The thyroid, as I've already indicated. It fights inflammation, especially nervous inflammation, and thus it also impacts or is utilized by the entire nervous system. For the vanity or beauty issues related, well, we have cherry angiomas, of course. Acne, which I haven't shown any faces here. Acne, they'll have a very tired and greatly fatigued expression on their face. Physically, you'll look at them and they'll physically just look very, very tired. And they may have protruding eyes, so a little bit of bulging eyes. Or they may be extremely bulging if they if this has gone into a case of Graves' disease or where there might be a goiter present provoking a bulging of the eyes. When we come to health issues, there's not a lot, but there's enough here that needs to be talked about. And of course, hyperthyroidism is one of them. Angina, asthma, inconsistent menstrual periods, bronchitis, cluster headaches. Cluster headaches, I need to explain that just a little bit before I go through. Cluster headaches are the most common type of chronic headache. The term migraine headache has become a generic term for all chronic headaches. A cluster headache or cluster migraine, however you want to word it, is the most common type of chronic headache. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that. Diarrhea, enlarged prostate, gastritis, of course, migraines, Graves' disease, the hyperthyroidism again, morning sickness in pregnant women, of course, again, motion sickness. So kids who get car sick, they may have a bromide deficiency. All sex hormone imbalances can be such as elevated or estrogen dominant, progesterone dominant, low testosterone, high testosterone. Potassium bromide is a hormone regulator. Nervous inflammation. For those who suffer from anxiety or panic and their body becomes inflamed and they start getting chest pains and pains in the cartilage between the ribs, that's nervous inflammation. You may have a potassium bromide deficiency. Recurring tonsillitis, and of course sleep disturbances, because we're talking about the thyroid. Thyroid plays such a great role in regulating the human body in so many of the body systems. So sleep disturbances would be expected. When it comes to behavioral issues, here we go back to children again. Bedwetting, sleepwalking, sleep eating, constant and chronic. I tried to say both of those words at once. Constant and chronic nervousness. Somebody who's always nervous, high-strung, and just constant nervousness. Somebody who's always restless, and people with a potassium bromide deficiency will have a very low pain threshold. They won't be able to handle pain very well. But anyway, that's all there is. You want to know the sign? If you have cherry angiomas, these red moles, warts, skin tags, whatever you want to call them, whatever they look like to you, I should say. They're not warts, but they're skin tags or moles. But they are always red. These are cherry angiomas. If you have them, you have a bromide deficiency. That is the one and only sign, though you will, along with that, and this individual does look greatly fatigued. No protruding eyes, however, but she does look greatly fatigued. Those are the considerations you want to make for a bromide deficiency, and that's it for now. We'll go on to potassium iodine or iodide next. Bye for